We are now 22 months, as of Friday, 22 months of not making any gains in the markets. So for almost 2 years now, the market has had a zero rate of return. Here's what you need to know before the bell this morning. Markets actually set a new high for this year. Now, that's pretty amazing. You know, it's been a really great run for markets this year. Markets are up about 20% for the year. And that's great news. And here's the important part about this. You know, this is always about perspective, and we talk about this a good bit, here on the show, is talking about keeping things in perspective. And this really comes down, I had a big argument on Twitter over the weekend over this comment as well. We are now 22 months, as of Friday, 22 months of not making any gains in the markets. So for almost 2 years now, the market has had a zero rate of return. Now, this is important because if your financial plan, we've talked about this before, your financial plan says I need 6% a year. Well, you needed 6% in 2022. You didn't get that. You needed a 6% return again in 2023. You didn't get that because now we are just simply coming back to where we were. So we've had almost 22 months of a zero rate of return, which puts us 12% behind our goal, right? So, and this is an important point. We wrote about this just recently, is that the market spends a good bit of time making up previous losses, and this is historically as well. So again, this has been a very good year for markets. It started back in October. We're now back to where we were in March of 2022. So we have a good bit of work to do here still to get to the highs of 2022 and actually start making some gains again. But this has been, again, we've talked about before how bifurcated of a market this has been. And this has been a real kind of a focus on just a handful of stocks that have been driving the market this year. As you can see here, and this is the important part, this market is very overbought here. We are at very high levels. In fact, we're at levels that have normally been associated with short-term market peaks. So again, we've had a very big run over the course of the last month. It's been a very large run. Markets are very extended here. And again, very overbought. So whatever it is that triggers a bit of selling in the markets could be fairly substantial here in the short term. Get a pullback to 4,400 would not be surprising. It'd be a normal correction within the markets. But just keeping a focus here that we've gone very far, very quickly. And if we take a look at a little bit shorter term picture here, just over the course of the last, really kind of last 2 weeks, mid-November to now, the market's been trading at about a 50-point range over the course of this last really kind of since mid-November. So yes, even though we set a new high on Friday, it's not a significant new high. It was barely a new high. Markets are looking to trade a little bit flat this morning. We'll see what happens. But again, we've not really gone much of anywhere very quickly, and that's because of this really overbought condition. Ever since markets got very overbought, as we wrote before, that was going to limit upside gains in the markets. And that's exactly what's happened. Yes, we've made some gains, but they've been very minor, and markets have really traded in a very tight range here. So again, markets are extended. Sentiment is very bullish right now, and we've been really kind of pushing the top of this move. So again, expect a bit of a correction here. That would not be surprising. That would give you a better opportunity to put some money to work. I know we've talked about this over the last week or so. Hey, this correction's coming. It is coming. It could just take a little bit more time, particularly when you have a lot of momentum and a lot of bullish sentiment. What triggers that correction is going to be the important thing. I have no idea what that's going to be, but just be a little bit cautious here. Hold a little bit of extra cash. You're going to get a better opportunity to put money to work. Markets aren't going to run away and leave you. Just be a little bit patient here, and you'll be rewarded for it. That's what you need to know before the bell this morning.